I've realized something important this year. I really like Star Wars. I grew up watching the original trilogy and the prequels, so yes, I have been indoctrinated into liking bad movies. I played the LEGO Star Wars games, aka the best games ever made. I had no idea what a bat'leth was because I'm not a freaking nerd. I like my space politics poorly written, damn it.
What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Oh, I also watched like every episode of the Clone Wars. God, I missed that show. I still remember like 7-year-old me sitting at my great nan's house explaining the plot of one of the early episodes to my dad about how a remote detonator wasn't working, so a clone had to go in and sacrifice himself for the mission to succeed. Rest in peace, Heavy, you were goated. Don't even get me started on 99. But you may be asking, if I liked Star Wars this much as a child, why did it take me this long to realize I really liked it? Truth be told, I fell off from Star Wars, as many did alongside me. I watched Rebels, I watched Rogue One, I watched the sequels when they came out. I liked one of them, and then I kinda just didn't interact with a lot of Star Wars. I watched the first season of The Mandalorian, and that's it. It doesn't help that I got into Marvel more, and good movies. But this year, I wanted to change that. I missed a bunch of shows that came out last year, so I decided I'd get back into watching shows regularly. And I started with Andor, and I love Andor. It became like my 6th favorite show. I liked The Acolyte. I was kind of whelmed by Visions, but I watched more of Mando and realized I'd only seen the first half of season 1 and not the full thing. I watched the whole show and I liked it. It made me smile. Along with Boba Fett, which is kind of bad, but I fuck with it. And this year just happens to be the first time in 7 years that we're getting a Star Wars movie. The last one was pretty terrible, so Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau had a lot riding on their shoulders here. I mean, it was revealed that they turned away Adam Driver after pitching the Hunt for Ben Solo movie with Soderbergh, which could have been really good and could have been AI slop. So they took the longest running recent Disney Plus show and said, fuck it, let's make a movie set between 2 seasons. Because we've known about their plan for season 4 for a while. And frankly, what did they think would happen? So, The Mandalorian and Grogu is about The Mandalorian and Grogu. Who would have thunk it? Din is currently doing contract work for the New Republic after he decided to join up with them at the end of Season 3 of Mando. But what wasn't in Season 3 of Mando was Sigourney Weaver, playing... Actually, I don't fucking know what this character's name is. I don't think it's ever said in the movie. Oh, okay, whatever. She's Sigourney Weaver, alright? And she's the one assigning Mando work and giving him the moolah for motivation. She tells him of a deal they have struck. Mando will do a job for the Hutts, the twins from the Mando show, that also haven't been named. Wait, why is this a trend now? They want their nephew to be located and returned to them. Rotta Stinky the Hutt, voiced by Jeremy Allen White, who doesn't sound like Jeremy Allen White, but that doesn't mean he's doing a good job. He still just sounds like a guy.
I'm my own man, and I'm not afraid to fight for what I have, to earn it, to prove myself to everyone.
So Mando goes to try and find Stinky because the Hutts will hand over an Imperial officer if he does. The fate of the universe is at stake. Wait, no, it's not actually. There's not really that much at stake. I mean, the New Republic has power right now. The Empire fell and the remnants aren't doing that much. I guess he's just doing side jobs until the next guy comes along, trying to blend Baby Yoda into his workout protein or something. He's finished the main story and he's just doing side quests for now. So a big problem that The Mandalorian and Grogu has is, well, this is very clearly 3 episodes of The Mandalorian in a trench coat trying to pass as a movie. And this isn't the first time they've tried to pass as bios. As such, it just doesn't feel grand. Like, I like The Mandalorian. I think Season 1 is excellent, Season 2 is pretty good, and it just has this vibe to it when nailed. Din can be so compelling, because he just looks cool and the settings he goes to are great. When it's unapologetically a Western, it really peaks. But it doesn't really feel right for a movie to just be following characters from the show. This isn't Din meets the main characters and goes on an epic adventure. No, it's just business as usual for the guy. I guess he's joined by Sigourney Weaver and Zeb, but Zeb was first reintroduced in Mando Season 3, which no one talked about, so clearly no one watched that entire season. Understandably, honestly, I would have checked out after the Jack Black and Lizzo episode if I cared about my mental health. But sadly, I was forced to watch Umbrella Academy Season 4, and I haven't recovered since.
So, I don't know. Yeah, probably just gonna end it all or something.
But like, this is their big plan for the first Star Wars movie since the latest main series trilogy ended? The guy from the popular show doing nothing different? You can clearly tell where the episodes end to because of the completely shoved in and awkward bridges in between them. There's literally a scene where Mando says he's taking a break and we see his house, which is like the biggest twist of the movie, honestly. and then nothing happens for like 10 minutes. The structure is all over the place and honestly quite laughable. Plus, Mando and Grogu are really all the movie focuses on for a solid 2/3 of it. Sigourney Weaver is in like 3 scenes, Zeb 2, and he contributes basically nothing bar a Star Wars Rebels level fight scene. And at one point he's escaping some enemies and takes like a full 3 or 4 minutes to finally hit a shot. Like, dude, you were destroying the Empire and Rebels. They were laughably bad at their job, but here he just has potato aim for some reason. I don't even mind having fight scenes where the Empire or Pirate or whatever force they're against is doing well, because it makes things interesting. You don't need to go full Gorman massacre or anything, but at least keep the stakes high. But then we'll just have Mando clearing out entire buildings without even taking cover or crouching because he's just that guy, I guess. And this happens all the time in the show too, but at least he gets his ass kicked a couple times. Usually in melee combat when he doesn't have the Beskar spear, but he also like gets shot. The Beskar armor is what blocks it and saves him, but it also shows that he relies on it as a Mandalorian. I don't think his armor blocks a single shot in this movie. What, so the kids showing up didn't question why he didn't die? Do you want this to be for Mando watchers or not? And speaking of Mando, something really funny is that Season 3 was all about him getting back into the Mandalorian creed after removing his helmet in Season 2. And it's funny as fuck that the trailer shows his helmet being removed immediately. And let me tell you, mild spoilers. There's still some guy out there who's seen his face that he has to kill. So technically, you broke the creed again, Din. Honestly, I was happy his helmet was removed, because it's proof that Pedro Pascal was actually on set. Because let me tell you, for 90% of the movie, he sure wasn't. People have pointed out already that you can tell if Pedro is the one in the outfit because of how he stands. He has like a leg out, kind of slumped over type stance. And I know that they need to use a lot of stuntmen for Mando, but it was especially egregious here. Din goes such long periods of time without talking, and then his delivery just sounds off. It's really disappointing. As much as I like him, it does not feel like Dave and John have anything they want to do with his character. He hasn't had any real development since the end of Season 2. If anything, he's had regression since he won't even take off his helmet when it's just him and Grogu. Speaking of Grogu, the little green shit pisses me off, man. Star Wars created a perpetual child and know exactly how to make it sell. There's already a lot of scenes in the main Mando show that just have him doing something cute or mischievous that are meant for you to say, "Aw, he's so cute," and nothing else. 50-year-old man, by the way. And fun fact, both Mando Season 1 and Mando and Grogu are set in 9 ABY, so they aren't even having him age in years yet. The worst part though, this movie gives us probably the best Grogu scene in years because it gives him agency for a little bit and lets us see what's going on with his thought process and if he can handle himself. I like that. That would be a great episode of Mando. But no, it's part of a movie and severely drags the pacing since it's at the end of the second act for some reason. Yes, I'm going to ignore this exact same thing happens in The Last of Us, but it is really funny that Pedro was put into this situation twice. It just sucks that he's a perpetual merch machine when I want the media to be better around him. Imagine he grows up but he doesn't join Luke's Jedi Republic and actually stays part of the Mandalorian Creed with a custom-made helmet and everything. Maybe at some point that causes him to go against Din because of the code being so ingrained into him since birth, while Din's alliance with Bo-Katan and already taking his helmet for IG-11 in Season 1 means he's playing fast and loose with the rules. I really just think they need to pick a story direction and go with it for these characters, because I can safely say this movie adds nothing to Din or Grogu's development, or even their relationship as a whole, and that very much harmed the scene between them that should be quite wholesome, but it's not due to really poorly written dialogue. Suffice to say, and I never would have expected to be saying this, the best written character in the movie is Rotta the Hutt.
I'm my own man.
Flat vocal performance and all. We didn't really know anything about Rotta since he was a stinky baby last we saw of him, but now he's trying to get out of the spotlight left on him because of who his father was, and it was actually kind of compelling. Like, they didn't do too much with it because they have to spend way too much time going to the Colosseum he's fighting in, but I did feel genuine happiness in seeing his friendship with Grogu and their antics. No fucking clue how he fit in the Ewing though, but even outside of the lackluster characters, there's just so many odd decisions made here. The Hutt twins sometimes speak English, the legacy character brought back as a surprise villain doesn't get named once, and is given way more aura than Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett, and looks substantially better compared to their Clone Wars design. There's a bunch of cool but empty shots like the New Republic X-Wings, flying, blocking out the sun. It's just not as effective as the TIE fighters since that's meant to show how the Empire disrupts the beauty of the universe. Plus, I gotta be honest, a lot of this movie just looks ugly. It's really drab color-wise, and the cinematography could definitely be improved. We see like 4 planets, and one is just discount Coruscant, one is discount Hoth, one is discount Endor, and the last one is awful to look at when outside. What are we doing, man? Honestly, I didn't expect this to be good when I saw the LEGO sets released. I mean, the best one is the Razor Crest, and it's worse than both of the ones that came before it. Only saved by the Zeb minifigure. Oh yeah, speaking of, he just gets another Razor Crest. Remember the N1 Starfighter he got approximately 9 episodes ago in-universe? Yeah, he's just using a new version of his old ship again. I hate the Mandoverse sometimes because it's really bad with weapon continuity. Din had the pronged rifle that one-shots basically anything in Season 1, but it had limited ammo. He has that ammo, but not used it for ages. And he just finds one in this movie. I like seeing him use one, but it's not even his. Plus, he has an entire rack of weapons to use at one point, and the guy who had a Beskar spear in Season 2 decides to use a sword instead. This is the second time Star Wars has pissed me off with a decision like this, the first being Rey not using a saber staff after having a staff in The Force Awakens, but I fear my rambles are getting more and more incomprehensible. The Mandalorian and Grogu represent a lot of problems with modern-day Star Wars, outside of Andor, of course. But there's one thing I can confidently praise it with. Ludwig Göransson went hard on the score. This is incredible shit that does not deserve to be in this movie. It's laughable at times, the extent that nothing is happening, but he's still trying his hardest to carry it. He balances the iconic orchestral parts of John Williams' score with a weird techno edition that I didn't fully vibe with, but I think people are praising it, so I'm glad it resonated with others. And yet, Ludwig Göransson has stapled himself among the greats when it comes to scores. Can't wait to see his work on the Odyssey next. Also, I hate to say it, but there's a Twitter post that really resonated with me. It said that no matter how bad a Star Wars property is, Star Wars is still kind of the coolest universe to be in, so they're still entertaining. And god damn it, it's true. This movie may be incredibly mid and riddled with issues, but I had fun. The Mandalorian and Grogu is a perfect representative of so many issues of modern Star Wars, and the franchise is desperately in need of more creative minds than just the main people running the show. We can't have every show calling back to the Clone Wars and connecting with the rest. We need more stuff to stand on its own or do something different. The character work is shoddy, the cinematic elements are lackluster, and it doesn't feel like a movie or even a TV movie. It feels like a 2-part special. It really is just held back on all fronts of doing anything interesting, and it's such a shame. I hope Din Djarin keeps being a character. I hope better things happen for Mando Season 4 and Ahsoka Season 2. I hope we get more animated media like Maul. I hope for better. I love Star Wars. I want it to be good. 5.5 out of 10. Just go watch Obsession again. And if you don't want to be trapped in an endless loop of cameos, retcon deaths, and callbacks, you should subscribe, or else. YouTube algorithm isn't very kind to smaller content creators, so any engagement can really help me out. I'm trying to cover some of the major releases from the past few days, but The Boys, Mando, and Passenger came out all together, so I am having some issues. And my LEGO Batman copy came the day after too, so I'm gonna have to put that on hold. Until then, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more. I hope to see you in the next one, but if not, that's okay. I appreciate you watching this all the same. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.